Hi everyone! I hope you're doing fine, I hope you're doing well. Today we're gonna do an 90% tutorial for the game. It's been something I wanted to do for a long time. So, the game is pretty simple to learn, in my opinion. But you need some cues and some stuff like that, so that's why I'm doing this tutorial today. I'm playing on Bizarre, that's why the capture sometimes is weird, but it allows me to show you the watches on here. So it will enable me to show you actually the positions and stuff, and the subpixel stuff mostly, which will be useful for some tricks to explain how it works internally and stuff, and why it works. That's mostly why I'm playing on Bizarre. I should have played on RetroArch, but that's the only way to make it work fine, because with RetroArch it would have been way harder to have this. So yep, I think we're going to start very quick. So we're using first we're using a one character name just to make it real quick for text boxes to display the player's name, because the player name appears in some text boxes. You can use a very distinctive character like this one to spot where it's used inside the text boxes, and you will see that it's used quite often. So yep, so we can start from here, I guess. Nothing prevents us from starting. I showed the cursor on purpose. You can see the cursor of my mouse so that I can show you a few things while actually running. I can point to things. You will see. Anyway, let's go. So, at the very beginning of the game, the mother talks to you. You have to talk to her once. Actually, you have to talk to every people in this room once. So, you talk to the mother once, to him once, to him once, to him once. And from now on, there is a timer which will trigger the fireworks that you will hear right now. And we place ourselves as close as possible to the exit, to be able to exit as soon as we are able to move. And there is a first thing I want to show you that I could have shown you right before, but the way the screen transitions, the map transitions work in this game. So here I'm half on the tile that would do a map transition, and if I could press down, as I will do right now, it transitions. And I could have done something else, which is press up. And as you'll see, the character advanced quite a bit before the transition happened. That's because that's what we call fast exits, which means it's faster to do up and down here to transition instead of doing actually full up. So yeah, that's why I'm explaining this, because it's a mechanic that's stupid, but you can find it absolutely everywhere in the game for map transitions. So whenever there is a map transition, you can actually do this fast exit, which is just entering one pixel on the tile containing the transition and exiting it right away. So you do down, up, down. It works also on left and right, by the way. So yeah, that's something we will use the whole run. So don't be shocked if I do this after that. You will know. So here from now we go left and up. We go left and we go to talk to the king to have access to Rafflesia School, which will be useful to get the sword throw, which is the first ability the second one we will learn after jumping, and it will cost us money, but for now we don't care. I will tell you when actually we will use the king's pass somehow. So here we got the pass and we will use it a bit later. It won't be long. So then here we should actually go to Dahlia Valley to fight the first boss in the game. Actually, we should go learn how to throw the sword. Then we should go to Dahlia Valley and fight the wolf. Fighting the wolf, there is a grandma that would tell us, go to the park, there is a fortune teller, and you should talk to her, and then we go to the fortune teller and everything resumes. It happens that we can talk to the fortune teller right away. I will show you. So you can go to the park right away, right now, without having done anything else in the game, and we will be able to clip inside the tent to actually enter the fortune teller stand, even if it's supposed to be closed. So that's a cool thing. That's a quite recent finding, actually. It's not that old. So here, the tent is closed, as you can see. We can't get in. I'm just going to check which... let me just check which button I actually put on save and load. Okay, save is this one. Okay, so I'm going to put a save here. So I'm going to do a setup. I won't explain it. I will explain right after, but not right now. And I will show you we can enter the tent. Boom. So we're in, whereas we're not supposed to be able to get in. So to do this, we have to have a very specific position with subpixels. I mean, you can see the subpixel here. Wrong place. And there is a very specific position for the X subpixels, so the third value, this one. And that's the most important one, and the Y position, so the vertical position, because X is horizontal and Y is vertical. So here we want to actually touch the flower. As you can see, you have your subpixels moving a lot in the game, whether you go diagonal or not. That's because there is some kind of momentum. There is a precise momentum in the game, in the way it's handled. And sometimes your character happens to land between pixels. It means that you're not on a precise at the very edge of the pixel, but you're in between two, and the game will know that, but it won't be displayed on screen. And you can actually reset the subpixels by hitting a wall. So here, when I hit a wall, you can notice that the X subpixels are 0. It's always round, and it works exactly the same on the other way, and it works also on vertical for the Y subpixels. It works that way. So when you hit a wall, or an NPC, or anything solid, it rounds your subpixel and puts you at a round coordinate, which is very important. It will be used in many setups in the game. So here we hit the flower from the left by going right. It puts our subpixels X to 0, and the X position to 656, we don't care, actually. But it's a good way to actually do this setup. And here, we want to do one frame of movement to the left, like that. I will explain the post buffers right after that. Then another movement down right, like that. Then one movement left again. And we happen to have this very position, 655 and 7 subpixels on the X-axis. And so then we have to go on a very precise Y position. It's not subpixel precise for the vertical position, so we don't care. We just need to be at this very pixel on screen. So here you can see I use this pixel, this brown pixel, to spot it. It's quite alone, actually. You can see this batch of 4 grass dots. You take the lower right one, and you just have to see it 1 pixel below the shadow, just like that. I don't know if the cursor, yep, it's captured well. So I think you can see it. And yep, once you're there, you just have to go left, and it works. So just now, let me explain the pulse buffers. It's a lot to explain at first. I'm sorry if it's a bit overwhelming, but we will reuse a lot of those things later on, so don't worry. So to actually do one input, actually the idea is to do 1 frame of input, like pressing left during 1 frame, but it's very hard in the game to do so. So there is an easy way, which is opening the menu, and while you press start to close the menu, you also press the button you want to actually execute during 1 frame. So for instance, we want to move left for 1 frame, so you press left and start, like that. And you see your character turning, it means that it worked. You can do the same thing with as many inputs as you want. So here we want to do down right, you do down right and start at the same time. Just like that, you see your character turning down right, so that's good. And 1 left, once again, good. And now you go down, oh! That's the kind of things that happen, so I'm going to do it real quick. You don't have to wait for the character to actually turn, as I just did right now, but at first go slow, take your time, do it one by one, and you will see it work, and then you will be able to make it faster. So here we're placed, so you can do small taps or any way you want. Oh, I was misplaced, it seems. Sorry for that, just doing it correctly once again. Been a bit missed by. Okay, and so here we're in. We can do it again. There are other ways to actually buffer inputs, which are tough, so I will go through them quite later. But for now, we will focus on the pause buffers. So here it didn't work because you saw my character didn't turn left, so it's probably that I pressed left after pressing start, which is wrong. And here it's fine. Oop. Good vertical position and we can get in. Now we have to talk to the fortune teller. Nothing exceptional. She's telling us, oh, I'm cursing you. You won't be able to actually talk to humans and you won't only be able to talk to animals. So then we leave the town by the left. Holding left and start is also possible if someone don't get in sync. Yep, that's true. You can do it. That's true. So here we don't actually have to do anything else here. So actually we have something else to do, but it's faster to leave town and to get back in because we need to talk to the dog to get it. It's very important because we'll need it to learn how to jump. It's almost the only thing we'll need it for in the whole game, but we need him, so. Come with us, little dog. And we can get out of town because we have everything we need. We have triggered... Actually, we did all this to get the dog. It's the thing we needed because it's what will enable us learning how to jump. So now, on the map, we could go up and actually learn how to throw the sword, but we need money for this. We need 20 coins. And so we prefer to go first to Dahlia Valley to get the money and learn how to jump and then backtrack to know how to throw the sword. So here, Dahlia Valley is quite a complex level actually. So a complex level to climb, but we don't climb it in any percent. So what we do is use those blocks here, regrowing blocks. These are blocks you can hit and walk over, and then they regrow. And if you're less than half on the tile when they regrow, you don't get hit. If you're fully on it, you will get hit and kicked out of the block. That's a rule you need to know. So here the idea, since blocks like that are solid blocks, I can show you a very simple application of this. If I'm slightly on them and press up, try to go in, the game detects that it's a solid block and you can't go any further inside. Because I'm not fully inside, so it detects I'm half inside. I'm trying to go much deeper inside the block, so it just kicks me out of it. That's not what we want. What we want is actually use this to get kicked inside of the wall. That's possible. So I'm just going to show you because it's clearer than words. I'm doing nonsense. Okay. That's the idea. And now I'm in the wall, I can move freely. So this is way harder at first than it seems. This is a thing that will be tough for people at first. If you want to learn it, it might be easier to learn from the right, even if it's not used in the any-person route. It's easier to do it on the right because of subpixels things and the way the rounding works in this game. It's easier to do it from the right than from the left. But in the end, it will be from the left that you want to do it. So it can be a beginner type of thing to learn. It can be good to actually do this. But let me explain. So the idea is to actually press down here against the wall so that our vertical subpixels are 0. This way we have a fixed position. Our vertical position is known. It's always the same. Then you go there, you break a block, you go there, and we press down. And then I'm going left. So as you can see, I'm not having the exact same position as before because I have a few subpixels there. So if I press down now, boom, they disappear. The great thing is you can return as many times as you want because you get better. That's true. It's not it's not a run killer. It will just take time, and you will maybe lose health by actually getting hit by the block or stuff at first. But very quickly you will be able to do it slowly, but do it. And then as long as you try and you do runs, you will get better and it will work. So don't hesitate just trying and YOLOing it. So yep, as I was explaining, you go right, you go down, and here, when I go here, I have subpixels, vertical subpixels, 192. So if I press down, boom, I'm kicked by the wall. It's the same principle as we saw with the block. We're not visibly inside the wall, but we're slightly inside the wall, and so we're trying to get in more inside, and the game kicks us out of the wall. So it brings us back to 0 subpixels. So the idea is actually to go down, but we can't go down here. That's why I'm going right first and down, because here with the stairs you can go down. And now that I'm placed here, the idea is to press up, because it's not visible, but I'm slightly lower than the block. It's not even visible because it's not pixels, it's subpixels. I'm 192, so something like 80% of a pixel lower than actually the small, let me show you, that this block. I'm slightly lower, it's not visible, but slightly below. And you need to use the same technique as I showed you before, which is pressing up to actually get kicked. And this is what I'm doing here. Boom. If I press up, since I'm below the wall, I'm not fully inside this block, the game will kick us back down. And now comes the hot part, because now I'm saving. If I press left right now, same principle, the game kicks us out of the wall because we're not fully inside the wall. So if I load back, if I go up and slightly too much up, oh shucks, I need to go down. If I press down, I'm kicked up. That's the logic. And every time you will do out of bounds stuff in this game, you will have to fight this. If you're on the border of a wall, if you press the direction going inside the wall, it will kick you out. So don't ever do this unless you want to do it. You want to get outside of the wall. So here what we want is actually be on the perfect position diagonally. So here it should be good. Yep, it's good. The idea is to get visibly, you can see here there is only 1 pixel of stairs, of border left to the stairs. The stairs have a 2 pixels border here, somehow black border. It's not really black, but you know what I mean. And you want to see only 1 to the right of your character. It's not actually that simple, because if you have bad subpixels, it can still kick you out, but most of the time it will work. This is not something we can't do any other way around. You have to assume that it can kick you out sometimes. That's how the game is done. We're exploiting something quite broken, so you can expect these kind of things to actually happen. Oops, I saved. So sometimes you will get like really much to the right when you press up at first, like I'm going to do it this way, for instance. Whoops, I did it wrong. So I'm showing you another way to buffer your inputs, but we're not explaining it really right now. If you're more inside of the block, if you press up, you will be more to the right, and you can even be slightly more to the right. So here, there is one rule: you must not press left. If you press left, that would be the intuitive way of going inside. I mean, you want to go left, you press left. But if you press left, this happens. So you don't want to press left. You want to press up to nudge against the block, as Sagas is saying. you press up to nudge against the block, and this will place you slightly left to get around the block. And then you go up. Oh my god, I'm slightly too much up, so if you press down, boom, it kicks you out. Same principle, instead of pressing up, you press right to nudge against the block. You can even be way higher, you press right, and it makes you go lower. So you will press up and right to actually position yourself. And the idea is to make small presses. You will have to learn how to make those small presses in the game. And you can find the position with 1 pixel to the right of the shadow, just like this. So once you're out of bounds, the hardest part is done. I swear, I'm not lying to you, you've done the hardest part, so no, it's free, you can just walk. You just have to be careful not to go too much to the borders, because you can get kicked like that. Oh, shucks. But overall, what you want is just going inside the wall, and then it's mostly free. So once I will show you the full sequence very quickly coming from outside. So yep, just to show you back how it's done. So you go there, you press down to have 0 subpixels, you break the block, you go right, you buffer a down input, you go left not to get crushed by the block, you press up to get kicked down, you move yourself with 1 pixel to the right of your shadow, and you're good to go. That's the idea. Once you're inside, you must go left. So here there is a small thing you can actually land against, which is this, because it's perfectly aligned. So what I usually do is do this, then go up here, and I'm perfectly aligned. I can just go left blindly without having to think, am I too high, am I too low? Because if you're moving freely, you can do this. Oh my god, I'm too high, I need to fix it. And sometimes you nudge against the wall and it makes you lose a bit of momentum. And that's something you don't want to see happening. So you just go do this and it works. Here there are 2 ways to get this bag. Salut bag, Black Tails. So you can... I did something I never did before. That's the good part of doing tutorials, you discover things. So you can take it the old way, which is this. You get it? But once you're here, if you press right, you're screwed. So what you can do is take it, press down, and press up. Because you will nudge the same way as against the block. You will nudge against the pond and be able to get back inside the wall. There is another way, which is the new way, which is somehow a bit faster, which is this. You take it like that, and the other way. You go the other way around. And it's faster because there's less lost movement. Here, when you go left, it's a movement that will be fully lost by going down and stuff. Here, you just come from here. You're aligned with this. You go left to left, left, just slightly up. And boom, you're good to go. And so you have the money. So this is good. It can happen that you get stuck. In that case, what you can do, if you get stuck in a run, you can save like this. You press save, and you can reset and reload, and it will bring you back to the entrance of the map with the money. So then you can OOB to the right, as I explained you at the beginning, and climb the map up from the right. It's faster. But the best is obviously to do all of this in one go. So just know that it's a possibility. If you get stuck, you can always save and reload in this game to get back. So here now we need to, once we have the money, we need to do a second thing here, which is talk to the bunny at the top of the map to learn how to jump. Because when we press B, as you can see on my input viewer, it does nothing for now. So we need to learn how to jump, and for that we need to talk to this bunny. So there are many places you can talk to this bunny from, like that, but you will see that there is a problem. Because the problem is not the vulture that is coming towards us, but more the bunny that pushes us inside of the pond, which is stupid. So what you want to see is actually being to its right, so that you're pushed on the stones, just the casual way. And boom, here you are. So, yep. Here, the ideal is once the bunny pushed you up to actually go up before the next text box opens. Like I will show you here. You go up toward the ends of the stone. While I'm here against the end of the stone, and I press up and B. And boom. To close the text box. And it brings me on the farthest stone, so I'm not falling in the water and everything. So that's good. That was Dahlia Valley. And you're good to go. So now we have 30 money. So what we need to do is learn how to actually throw the sword, which is something we'll use during the whole game. And this is where you need to have talked to the king. If I didn't talk to the king at the beginning of the game, I couldn't access this zone. The guard wouldn't let me pass. But since I talked to the king, it's pushing away. And here you enter this house, and the guy proposed you to actually learn you how to throw the sword for 20 coins. And there you go. So now, if you press A and keep A held, you can throw the sword and really sing and stuff. There will be many things that we'll be able to learn with this later on, but for now, this is everything you need to know. So, that's a first part covered. Now we need to talk a bit about how the game is meant to be played. If you did the game casually, you know that you need to go to the beach first to get the penguin, which gives you a freezing ability that you can use on your sword. And then it enables you going through the Hot Daisy, which is this level, and then you're good to go to the more right or the east part of the map. But the thing is, in speedrun we don't have time for this. But we will need the penguin, but we're just going to be getting it later. Once we have the cheetah, which is another pet allowing us to run faster, we will be able to clear the beach faster. So that will be a better way to do it. But for now, we will go to Hot Daisy right away. I'm going to do a save. And there we go. So this is a level which is quite simple. It's all horizontal. So we go right, always right. And there's a first thing here, which is getting this bag. It's not mandatory. It's something you can do. It's quite hard at first. I will show you my visual cues for that. But it's something that saves a bit of time, so it's better to actually get it. I failed. That's what I was telling you, actually. It's not that easy. So, it's not that easy. Especially with the save state thing. I'm losing the mood, actually, the flow. So my visual cue is about there. It's this style. When I cross here, I jump, then I land on the left part of this slider, and if you go right, and not doing upwards movement or anything else, you should land at the right spot at the right time, and then you just have to jump and you will fly away. It's not a big deal if you don't get this bag at first. You can actually get another bag later on, which I will show you, which is no big problem. As a beginner, maybe you don't need to actually learn this, but it's good to know it exists, and that's what we do in 80%. But it's not mandatory. What is mandatory though is this trick. We will need to slide here, building momentum, to get across this pit. This lava pond, this whatever you call it, lava lake. I don't know. But you need to get past it because this is the thing we should actually freeze with the penguin. Usually we would actually throw the sword and it would freeze the lake and we could go over it. But we don't have the penguin. So what we need to do is slide over it. So the usual technique in 80% is to jump there, then build momentum by pressing the opposite direction compared to the slider. and we're good to go. This is a tough trick. Many runners will tell you that it was their first problem in the game. It was their first real point of struggle, because many bad things can happen. I can show you. If you go too early, there is this kind of things that can happen. Like you're sliding away strangely and you don't have enough momentum. Or you can have this kind of things happen. Like slightly sliding to below, not holding the same thing, and you can get blocked. It worked, okay. Usually it blocks you on the pole with the rope. It's hard to show, but it almost passed, okay. Nul, bonjour los. Maybe I will succeed showing you how it can... Okay, like that. You saw I was blocked by this part, or you can be blocked by this pole here. You can be blocked. When I say blocked, you can just be slightly hindered. Sometimes just you lose a bit of momentum, but it's enough to prevent you from jumping over the pit, over the lake, or the pond, or whatever you call it. So what I do to make this thing consistent is actually press up here to be aligned with this wall. I can't go any higher here. I'm just dodging the... I just clear this out. Boom. Wait a little bit for the ties to uncover. Press left. And then press right. It's something you need to actually get comfortable with. At first you will have problems with it. It's normal. Don't worry. It's a matter of knowing where to switch from left to right, I'd say. I'd say it's the hardest part of the trick. It's pressing left, and then around here you press right, and B and B. You have to handle the jumps and the moment where you pivot from left to right. But the thing is, minimize your vertical movement. If you do my vertical movement, you're probably doing it wrong. You just have to press left and right and it's enough. And then once you're here, we can do the final part of the level. I'm just going to show you the full sequence one more time. You take this bag, you fall, you go up, you build a bit of momentum without doing any vertical press, and we're good to go. So here the idea is to move this block there to do the same kind of thing that we did in Dahlia Valley, which is have a block on the diagonal edge. And with this, it's very easy. You just press up, you nudge, you go down and left. I'm going to show you. Go left, left and right. Then we push the first block to be able to dodge and block the fire. Go left, up, down and left. And you can even get damage boost like that. It's pretty swag when you have it. Going to do the full sequence one more time. You can also not push the higher block, but it's dangerous, as you can see, because you have to time your thing. So that's why I pushed this block. I find it to be much more efficient. This way the fire is blocked and you can push this one safely. Up, down, left, damage boost, and go to this door. This door brings you way to the right. So we're going way to the right. And we need to just to go right to exit the level and we're good to go. And with this I will be able to show you something. When you save and reload in this game, just like that, I'm saving and I'm reloading, soft reset, you get life back. The game never... It always gives you a bit of health when you load, so that you won't get a nasty save with 0 health. So here I'm full health. That's when you're very low on health and feeling unconfident, you can save and reload. It will make you lose time, but at least you won't die. And a death can cause you more. So if you're at a good spot to reload, at first do it and then avoid doing it later on. So, Hot Daisy is done. Now we move on to... Salut Pinite, excuse me. Now we move on to Burn Daisy, which is the second level of with the lava theme. So we just have to get inside here. So if you go very fast, which is not very easy at first, as you can see I've missed 3 times in a row. so I'm pretty bad at this. Okay, never mind. So you push this block 2 blocks to the left, then you push this one 2 blocks to the 2 blocks up, simply. Finding my words. And you push this one left, so you have the same pattern of block against the diagonal wall. So here there is a diagonal wall and there is a block below, so if you go slightly to the left, boom, press down, you're kicked up. Same principle as before, you can see. Salut Wiz, merci pour la visualisation. C'est cool. C'est cool que ça plaise. So you have this block, you have this diagonal wall, so you could just go slightly left. You can see here that you're slightly above, with your shadow, you can see that you're slightly above the block. You press down, you're kicked inside, and then you nudge against the block to place yourself well and actually get inside like this. Be careful here, because if you go slightly too much to the upper part, you'll be kicked out. What you want to do is not go lower either, because it will do some kind of diagonal stuff here. So what you want, where you want to be is on this block. There is a bend here of 1 tile. It's tiles in this game are the size of this block, so you can see it, and it's aligned with this block roughly. It will work, don't worry. You just roughly align and you're good to go. So yep, where you want to go is in these stairs. So what I usually do, but it's a very small optimization, but you can actually learn doing it right now. It's very simple. It's using the getting kicked property of the wall to go faster. So once you're aligned with this block, you just have to go right, and you can actually go slightly left and slightly right, and once you're past the wall, you can press left just once and you get kicked, and as you get kicked, you're teleporting on the stairs and triggering the transition. That's a very fast way to do it. So just like that. As soon as you see your character is slightly overlapping the outside part of the wall, you press left, and it works. If you have a sharp eye, you notice that the game teleported us inside of the stairs, and it's a very simple way to, for once, use this mechanic at your advantage, because most of the time getting kicked outside of the walls will be a pain in the ass, but this time you can use it to save time, so that's pretty cool. So once you're there, where you want to go is down, and there is something not easy at first. It's a long jump where you have to jump very late to get it. It's not frame perfect. There must be a 2 or 3 frames window. I think 2, because 3 would be pretty lenient, but it's definitely not frame perfect, I think. And you can practice. The ideal position, I think, is to jump from here, this corner here, because you're closer to the platform and you can move freely. You don't think it's even as low as 2, 3? I mean, it's a mix of precise position and thing. It's 3 plus, you think? Okay, my bad then. Maybe it is. I always found this to be quite hard and quite precise, even though I get it most of the time. But at first I found it to be quite tough, but okay, maybe. And so here you have to jump from this position. That's the best, because you're very close, and you can even do it while being stopped here. You don't need momentum, but it helps to actually have the flow with you. And so you notice that you can walk way above the visual limit of the tile, because here the visual limit of the tile is here, and I'm slightly above it. So feel free to jump later that what you would do naturally, and it will work. Just tell yourself jump later and it will work. Just like that. Glitch as when sometimes. Head there if you need apples. There are apples in there. In your first runs it might come in handy at some point. So you know that there are apples because we are going to do a boss fight here. So let's do it. Hey Kelly Ray, how you doing? Soleil, Dino. When this game is fun, glitchless. Best boss in the game. So this boss is horrendous. It's called the Shuffler. It's an indescribable horror. It's a shame. That's the worst boss in the game. So it's a memory game. So the idea is to actually see which one is the right one at the beginning, because it will split in many puppets, many small things, small beans, and this one is the right one, so you have to follow it. It's this one, I guess. I wasn't even very careful. And boom, you hit it. So here you can notice that they have facial expressions. All of them are doing some kind of facial expressions, and one is grumpy like that. I don't know if I'm doing it correctly, but it's unhappy. Like this one, this is the default thing. And sometimes you can see that there is one which is off. But not every time. On the first cycle, as you notice, they are all having the same face. So it's no use to look. But on some cycles, all of the others are having a facial expression, except one, which is the right one. So it's this one. Keep track. So here we see they have facial expressions on one cycle out of two. So that's bullshit. That's this one. First and fifth, okay. I'm not actually that much in depth on knowing which one. Actually, I just follow the flow and keep track. But okay, it's good to know. This one, I'm playing like nonsense. So I usually charge my sword because it's more precise, because otherwise there are times where you will slash like that. It worked, of course. But sometimes when there are close puppets, close to each other, it can actually hit the wrong one. And it can be a pain in the ass, really. Because it's a really horrendous boss in regards of hitboxes. I'm just trying to have an actual good example, but this boss is a troll. Every time you want him to do something, it will do the opposite. So I want to show you something, and it's always going... Okay, this one actually might be a good example. And sometimes it's really stupid. Like, I'm here. Okay, no, that's logical. I'm just trying to... Oh, here, this one. Look at that. It's hitting the one below me. When you place yourself here, it's hitting the one below you. It's stupid. Whereas if you charge your sword, you don't have this problem. That's why I always charge my sword against this boss. And you can even use the way you charge your sword to actually count the number of movements, because the boss always moves 4 times before actually freezing again. So here, whoops, I saved, and I don't know which one it is, so I'm going to cheat. Okay, it was this one, the right one. So, 1, 2. Okay, well, I saved at the worst time. I'm just going to hit it and do another cycle and keep track. So it's going to move once, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it's this one. And you can use the moment you charge your sword to keep track of the number of times it moves. Like 1, 2, 3, you start charging, and 4, you release. That's the way I do it usually. I do a slash like that, a slash. So this is the wrong one. I'm going to save here. And slash, a slash. Then you charge your sword, and then you hit it. That can be a way to count some kind of ritual you do every time. And it can work pretty well. If you don't need that, don't do it. I mean, if you can do it easy, just go it right away. But sometimes I found myself to kind of lose focus against this boss, and having this kind of ritual to do against it it's working. Usually works. Is the game easy to run for a first speed run? Yes, it is. There are some hard parts to the any person route currently, but honestly there is nothing really too hard, and most of the time there are strategies that are slightly slower but way easier, so you can always find a good route for you. So yep, it's a very, I think it's an easy game to get inside, but it's hard to master. It's easy to begin and hard to master, so that's cool. So there we go. We have this. So we get the squirrel, which gives us a nice ability, which is the occasion to show you how to equip things in the game. So you have 2 pet slots, and you can equip pets in one or the other. It doesn't change much, but the only thing you have to know, it's slower to equip in the lower slot because it's less accessible. You have to press one more button to get there. So instead of just going on the squirrel and AA and you're good, it requires you, if you want to place it on B, you need to A, down, A. It's slower. So that's why you want to actually put animals you will keep for a long time on the B slot, and keep the A slot for animals you will switch a lot. So here we're equipping the squirrel on A because you don't care, and we are not even forced to equip it now. It's even better not to equip it now, because there is a thing that the TAS found. It's that it's slower to load maps when you have the squirrel equipped. Don't ask me why. Maybe because it's loading the sprites or something like that. So it will slow your future map transitions by a few frames if you equip the squirrel too early, and that's useless, so don't do it. So yep, we get the squirrel, we go down like that, then we go right, and we're back on the world map. So there we go onto Iris. So Iris is a very interesting level. I think it's one of the most movement heavy levels in the whole game. It's using a lot of damage boosts, a lot of diagonal movements, precise movements, lots of jumps which are kind of precise, especially with the first rope clip, which we'll do right now, this one. So it can seem easy, but you can very often, if you jump too early, you would get blocked against the rope, like that, just as if it was a wall. So that's not something you want. And if you jump too late, well, if you're too late, you can't because you're already on the rope. So you have to find the right in between, just like that, and then you can just go inside of the wall. But if you get blocked like that, it's every time that you jump too early. So delay it a little bit more and it works kind of easy. Kind of easily, but I can't do it. Yay! I'm too bad at this game. So yep. If you missed the bag in Hot Daisy, the one with the jump on the slider, which is kind of hard, and I told you, don't worry if you don't get it. There is another bag you can get. This is the bag. You can get this one. So you can take this bag if you missed the one in Hot Daisy. That's no problem. It's the fastest bag to get, actually. So get this one and you'll be clear. So either you go, if you have the bag, you can directly go out of bounds from here. Or if you don't have the bag, you can jump over the rope because it's faster than climbing it like this. It's always faster to jump over the rope. Get the bag. I won't get it because it will get a bad money count. And you can get OB from above, just like that. So that's the way. So I will show you, just do a real save from the beginning of Iris. So you go down. So here we have the money, so we don't get it, we don't need it. We go out of bounds and we go up here. So you noticed I did some diagonal movements here. It's not too precise. You have 2 tiles where you can walk here. It's quite large, but don't be afraid to actually get away from the enemies and go fast. I'm new, so I'm asking, what if I collect both? Does it save time? Nope, because there is another bag which is slightly faster than this one, Thanks for asking. That's a good question, actually. And so no, this bag is the second fastest to get, actually. And there is another one we will need in the run. We will get it somewhere else. But this one is the second fastest after the Hot Daisy one that we might have missed. Oh, don't say that. He's a nice guy. Come on. Say guys. Show the example. So, yep. We're inside the wall, so you do a bit of diagonal movement here to just get in between those two tiles. Go up. Don't worry, it will be okay. Follow the walls. You can do small jumps if it makes you feel better. So here, you can walk there, but not there. If you go there, you're stuck. As you can see. You can't move otherwise, so you need to save, load, because you're soft locked. So what we want is actually walk a bit lower. And it works perfectly. Oh my god. Okay. You walk a bit lower, a bit at the middle of the wall. There you want to actually get around the lake. Be careful because sometimes you can get clipped inside. You can't jump above, you get blocked, obviously. But it needs to be explained because you're leaving the wall, so you must not leave walls. So don't hesitate to get passed by quite by a large amount. And you go up until there. So here, be careful, there is a tile here, a trap tile, as we can call it. Solo on console. Play it on console if you need to, if you can, actually. But otherwise, you can play on emulators. There are a few ones which are good. Bizarre, the one I'm using, and Retouch, a second one, with several cores. So I will just show you at the end which one we're using. So there you go. So here you must not go too much to the right because otherwise you're blocked like this. So don't hesitate to move right aligned with the middle of the trees there. It's quite large once again, so don't be afraid. Here I'm slightly too much to the left, so here I'm blocked. But sometimes you can actually unblock yourself, but sometimes you will clip out. So be careful, just walk roughly at the middle and it will work. Just keep that in mind. Not too much to the left, not too much to the right. It's a bit like at the beginning of Iris. There was this two tile wide wall that you had to put into. Walk in the middle and it works. So there you go. I will go slightly faster now that you get a bit of a hunch about everything out of bounds stuff. So here it's the damage boost part, so I will show you how I do it quickly before explaining how to do it. So we go there is a lava that pushes downwards. It's not perfect, but it's okay. Then we equip the squirrel. We get hit by this stump, we don't care. Press C to actually damage it. We slide. Once again a damage boost. And once again a damage boost. That's how we do it. So the idea of this zone is getting as many damage boosts as you can, because we're slow, as we don't have the cheetah yet, which we'll have just after that. And we need to damage boost a lot. So every damage boost we can, we take them. So this one, as you can see, I'm going straight against the enemy. So I go past the enemy, I go to the right. I'm just getting the good timing. If you go straight to the right, the enemy will hit you from above. That's not good. So you go slightly down and right, then you go back up in diagonal, just like that. And you want to jump when you get hit by a damage boost to keep your momentum. This is something you really want, because otherwise, if I don't jump, you will see, you lose your momentum as soon as you land, and that's bad. You want to keep the momentum the damage boost gave you. So what you want is this. That's bad. Actually, it's not that easy to keep it, so if you miss it, no worries. It's not always that easy to keep it, so just try to get the most speed you can, but if you don't, no biggie. It's only a few seconds you save by doing this, but it's always cool. If you're not feeling comfortable, you can do the zone, like, casually. That was a good one. A bit too ambitious, but a good one. So I'm just doing the last one, just to show you. I missed the jump. Like you see, I'm missing quite a bit, so don't feel ashamed if you do. It's normal. It's kind of precise actually. Whoops, played bad. Oh my god, I'm doing nonsense. This one is good. Okay. Here you align with the wall and you equip the squirrel in A. And you charge your sword. I will explain something about the charging the sword right after. So when you charge your sword, I will show you, I will go up and charge my sword without doing anything. As you notice, there is a slowdown because I'm slashing with the sword. And that's a bad thing. You don't want to lose time by actually standing, slashing. So what you can do is actually jump. And when you slash while jumping, you don't get that slowdown. This is a very good thing to know. At first you don't notice this and you're losing a bit of time, and when you know you can jump, it's very good. So every time, and by there I mean it, every single time you will charge your sword in this game, you will jump at the same time to actually prevent losing speed. So every time you want to charge your sword, you jump first and do A. It's quite simple actually. You're rolling on the buttons, you're doing BA, 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 just like that. And you just keep A pressed and you're good. Good to go. That's what you want. So what we're doing here... Whoops. This one was a bad boost, but that's okay. Yep. Actually, getting hit by the stump is a setup for me, because otherwise it can be blocking. Here I know if I get hit, it's okay. It won't hit me afterwards because I have invulnerability frames. And it can be a problem if you get hit while the sword is traveling to the blocks. It can be quite painful, that's why I do this. So jump and charge, just like I did. Jump and charge the sword, getting the hit, jump, boom. So there, what I did is getting hit, jump, do this, and then I press C. C is an attack where your pets go in front of you, and it can damage enemies, just like that. But it does very, very tiny damage. It's 1/8 of a heart of an apple, so it's really ridiculously low damage. But it stun locks enemies, as you can see. It locks them into position, so it's pretty useful in few parts in the game, like this one, where you get hit. You just do that, and if we did nothing, the stump could actually hit us. So to prevent this from happening, we just press C, and we're okay. Press C here, it's locked, and then you can go. And you're not threatened by this enemy. And there are more damage boosts here. I can show you again. You get hit, you throw the sword, you press C, you jump. Oh, that was bad. Okay, whatever. You get hit to get the damage boost, and a second one. There we are. I'm just going to... no, we won't need the health. So, here we don't have to do anything in any person, so we just go there to go to the racetrack. And we paid a hefty sum of 20 coins here to get inside. Dying in cheetah race. Maybe that could happen, I don't know. So this is a race which is notoriously horrible in it's infamous in casual. But the good news is we don't have to do it. I will show you. You can do this, which is stupid, but it works. So I'm doing it badly at first, but okay, that's the way you do it. So the idea of the kart track rollback is to go in the kart. So first, the controls of the kart, it's pressing A moves you forward. You can press directions left and right to actually turn. And you can press B to brake and go backwards, like that. It's pretty intuitive controls, but the drift is quite heavy, actually. So what you want is actually spam A to do very small movements while staying at the same place. So it's the fastest way to actually turn around. It's to spam A and press one direction, either left or right. And then you go past the line, and what you want is actually having this part of the hat, the topmost part of the hat, being aligned with the line, the finish line. So you need to get past the line because otherwise it doesn't work. If I do this, for instance, let me just get placed again. If I do this and do this, it doesn't work. As you see, it re-incremented the counter. So you need to get slightly past, go back, and you're good to go. No one knows to bribe the cheetah. Well, you can bribe the cheetah, but it costs money, as you can see. 50 money, that's that's really expensive. So you spam A to turn around, you go past the finish line, you go backwards, and you turn around, and the same again and again. Well, that was ambitious. Way too... You don't strictly have to go as far as aligning the full hat with the finish line when going back, like I did right here. If you go like this, it will work. You just have to slightly go back. It's not that bad. Actually, you have to try by yourself. Find your limits, your way of doing it. And you will find your own way of doing it. It's mostly visual cues. I'm giving you yourself minds, but they're maybe not the best, so just get your own and do it. Just doing it one more time to show you with input viewer. That was bad, for instance. I had to go backwards quite a lot and it's slow, so we don't want that. And there is a good thing to know that on the very top right corner of the screen you will see a number appear right now after this test box. You saw 12:1. It was the time it took to actually do the race. So you can know how fast your race was. The best races go... Actually, I think the task does 8 or 9, which is crazy good. My personal records was I9, I think. 9, 8 or something. And my good tracks, I'd say, are 10, low 10s. So 10-3, for instance. I'll try to do a good one, actually, but not sure I will do it. That was slow, the last one, but the rest was okay. It's 11, I guess. 10-8, okay. So that was a decent cheetah race. And now that you have done this race, you have the cheetah, which is the most powerful pet in the game, which simply speeds you up by a lot. So you will always equip it in B, because you always want to have it, so you will change it quite rarely. You almost always want to have the cheetah with you. So you equip it in B, and when the B slot is empty, you can notice that the game already places the square on the B slot. And that goes, the same goes for this. If you have it always targets the empty slot in priority. So if there is a pet in A slot, it will target B slot, and the opposite is true as well. So there we were like that, and we want to equip cheetah, so you quickly go to cheetah and close the menu. And there you go. Now we go very fast. So, there. The game in casual expects you to have the cheetah here to jump across this gap, which we do, actually, we have the cheetah, but not because it's useful to cross this gap, because otherwise you can do it without it. A bit like I just did it right here, but without the cheetah. And here in the game, you have one of the worst parts of the run. What was once wasn't one of the worst part of the run, which was the slime quest, where you turn into a slime and you have to talk to NPCs during something like 3 minutes, something like that. It's an horror, and you can go back. You're kind of locked. So there is a way to get past this, because it's the best. It's a good part casually, actually, but yeah, in speedrun it's horrible. So I think you're starting to see a pattern. There is a wall here. It's kind of a wall. It's an hybrid tile. You can walk on it, but it's kind of a wall. So as you can see, it can kick you out when you are slightly on it. So if we could be slightly lower, it could kick us down, just the same way as in Dahlia Valley, the first level of the game. And it happens that there is space here to go down. So what we do is actually go down against this tree to put our Y subpixels to 0. So here we're sure that our subpixels are 0. You go to the right, then we buffer an input down, and then we go back left, and we have subpixels. And now the objective is just to get across this gap, and I'm slightly across it, too much to the left. That's the idea. So I have to do it again. I'm slightly above. If I press up, boom, I'm inside the tree, and I can walk freely. That's the idea. So you get down, Y subpixels are reset, you get right to have... If you go right, it's just to have space to move down, because here there is this block, which is blocking us, as the name implies. And you need space to go down, so you go slightly right to have the space to go down. You go down, and then you move back left. And boom, there you go. I can do it faster if you want, just like that. Whoops, I pressed down, I'm stupid. Boom. So there it's advised to go straight down, because here there is a tile where you can get blocked. This one. You don't see very well, but it's here, actually. There is a tile where you're actually completely locked if you go here. Salut Chacha, ça va bien? Comme on glide sur Spyro. Je peux pas tout apprendre. If it's your shadow, you fall. If your shadow is visible, you don't. That's actually a good point. You can see your shadow. If you see your shadow disappear, you're too much to the left. That's the visual cue to know if you're going to fall or not. That was obvious to me, so I didn't even tell it, but you're right to mention it. Pire streamer, je me casse, salut. Et garde la pêche. Allez, salut Chacha. Alright, so you go right and down. Yeah, c'est aussi incroyable. You get on the pit, you go up, and then you can go down. And you go straight down, and then you can go diagonal. Here it's mostly free. There are no trap tiles, so you can just move freely. The idea is just going down, then diagonal to exit the zone through here. You can also slash buffer, that's the technique I'm using to buffer my inputs. I will explain it later. Boom. But as a beginner, I advise you use the pause buffers. You press down while exiting the menu, and boom. Let's go. So there we are, we exited Iris. So now, this is the point of the run where we should go down. But if you remember correctly, we actually skipped totally the beach where we had a penguin to rescue, and now we have the cheetah that allows us to go fast. So we are backtracking now, and let's go. We need to go back to the beach to get the penguin because we will need it later on, and if we wait any more time, it will be longer to backtrack to the beach, and we don't want to. I'm just going to do a save here to show you correctly. So, the beach. So, the idea is to either break this block to get health, or you can get around this one, but it's not that fast. It's slower, actually. If you do the block breaking thing quickly, it's faster to break the block. Just like that. You jump, always jump to charge your sword. Here, what you want is not... This is crumbling ground. So, if you jump, the thing is crumbling. If you jump on it also, it will also make it crumble. Like that. So this is not what you want. So actually, yeah, Xandovile has a good point. If you get hit in this game, you jump a little bit. As you can see, you're boom. When you're knocked back, you jump a little bit. So it will have the same effect as a jump. If I bring a star here and get hit... Excuse me? What the fuck is that? This game is so broken. We just discovered something. But... It's knock. Yeah, there's knockback. Sorry. So this is something else. How did we never learn that? I don't know. That's actually kind of funny. Could be used for some kind of memory overflow or something. Whatever. So what you need actually is absolutely not to jump. So you charge your sword here. You get hit here. So can you how can I explain this? Because the thing is, here you need to jump. You need to jump, and it's quite hard to jump without making anything crumble. I succeeded here, but it's not that easy. And most of the time you will have a trouble. You will make it crumble somehow, and I'm succeeding quite a lot of times in a row, of course. So if you're feeling comfortable, you can jump. But it will crumble at some point, I swear. And there you need to throw this sword here with the scroll to open it. So what we want to do is actually charge the sword earlier on and avoid making the ground crumble. So what we can do is actually getting hit because we arrive from here. So either you go down here, but it's very easy to lose momentum going here. Okay, if you jump here you get hit, it seems. No. Okay, I don't get it. So if you go right in there, you will most likely get losing momentum here, so that's bad. Did you explain why we don't want the ground to crumble? Well, it's for not falling, because falling is slow. That's just the idea. And so what we want is do this. You jump here to go to... So the jump here is not necessary actually, but you see that stairs slow you down. So that's why I jump above stairs, not to be slowed down, but you need not to jump too far, because otherwise you will make the ground crumble. So if you do this... Oh no, you're losing time. That's bad. So you need to jump right above the stairs, but not too far. Just like that. And then you walk from here. You only walk. You get hit here, so that with the invulnerability frames, you can cross the spikes without having trouble. But if you do this, it crumbles. So that's why we get hit by the first spikes, to get through the second ones, and then walk just freely. As you can see. No problem. I don't know if it's kind of clear. It's a bit messy, the way I explained this. But it's not easy. Once you try it, it's obvious why you do it this way. But it's not that easy to explain. I think if you try it, you will understand. Just see that you go right, then up, and go there, throw the sword, and we're good to go. There you go. The hit wasn't necessary here. So this is where we need to go, the village. So here there is a way actually to clip inside. Of course it never happens in runs, and here it happened, of course, because it always works like that. So there is a very, very, very small chance that you clip inside the house with a very precise subpixels position. It never happens. Like if I show you this, it will never happen. I mean, you can nudge against the house, it will never happen, but there it works. Don't ask me why. But the usual way is to jump 3 times on this carpet at the beginning, and it opens the doors. And you need to talk to the elephant twice. So a first time, but you still can do anything. You need to talk to him twice, and then actually press A to take the board. And now you know how to lift items, how to lift objects. It's a new skill. It's like throwing the sword or jumping. So now we can go into a quite tough level, which is this one. Water Lily or Windy Shores, Windy Cliffs. There are many things. I'm showing you the way we do it in any percent. It's not easy at first, but it's not that hard. Actually, you just have to get comfortable with the sliding mechanic of the game, and you will do it this way very soon. So, first you notice that there is a wind. There's wind in this level. There is cyclic wind, always in the same order. First to the right, always during the same duration. Then it stops. Then you wait again. Then there is wind to the left. Wind to the left. Then you wait. Then there is wind to the right. And it goes on. It cycles from right, left, right, left, right, left. If you do the level fast, you won't see the wind more than once. You will only see the first wind to the right, and that's all you will see. You got Goron past it, I didn't get the... that's true, that's exactly this. So, you take this rock, you remove the block here, you go there, and the goal is to get on this edge here, whoops, before the wind kicks in, because when you see that when the wind is there, it's hard. So this is the horrible thing. This is the hardest part of the level. Once you get this, you hold right, and you can stay forever on this slider. And then with the wind, you can just move like that. And it's faster with the wind. That's why I'm telling you. Just practice to get there first. Get on this ledge here. Then you can just go from ledge to ledge. And with the wind, it's faster to do this one, because the winds push you right. So you really need to practice this. So here I did it wrong because I slided too early. I slid too early, and that's kind of weird. I was kind of late, but it worked. And boom, you're on the bridge. Then we need to jump here, and here, and here, and here. So the idea is always to hold the direction towards the wall, not to fall in the water. It can seem pretty obvious, but it's maybe not at first. So take your time. You can actually move quite slowly from wall to wall. Boom. That's what you want to do. It's much harder than it looks, but once you understand how slides work, it's not that hard. You use the wind here, you go up, right, left, left, and right. That's the way you do it. And there it's tricky. And so, the end, you can do it 2 different ways. You can also play with the rock. I don't think I will show the rock because I see the time flies. And it's a really, really small optimization. It's mostly for swag and really not for beginners. It doesn't say, it almost doesn't save time, and it's quite long to explain. So I don't want to explain it at first. But that's the kind of things you want to do. And as you can see, there is wind only once when you do this. And it's okay. Oops! Slightly too short. And this is bad because then it's kind of hard to back up. You can still back up, but it's not that easy. Whoops. Eh. Okay, I'm dying right now. So if you're missing health, there are apples there. Good to know. I used them in my marathon run recently because I was dying almost. The wind is pushing me too strong. And there are also apples here, right before the boss. In every tile of grass here. If you need them, it's always good to know. So there you go. You can do 2 walls at one time, but you're blocked here, so it's useless to go too fast at the beginning, because you will be blocked at some point by the wind. So just take your time, do your thing, and it works. You can do a swag rock strat that I will show you here. You can drop the rock by getting hit by the spikes, otherwise it disappears. And you take the rock with you. I'm going to show you very briefly. But it's kind of a risky strat because if you fall with the rock, it will drop like that. You build... Oh my god, I played so bad. Okay, this is the idea, but I did it wrong. You drop the rock, you take it. And it's used to build momentum at the end. So it's cool. It makes the last part easier somehow, but it makes the beginning harder. Boom! Like that. You're putting the rock in the water by falling, and then the rock blocks you, so you slide indefinitely, building almost lots of momentum. And then when you want to jump, you press A, both A and B. A to remove the rock and B to jump. And so removing the rock and jumping releases all the speed, and you jump like woo, very fast. So the octopus is quite a simple boss actually. You just have to charge your sword with the scroll and release it 4 times for the first phase and 4 times for the second one. I'm going to die because I said it was simple. Nope. Good. So it's always moving right first and left then, so you can predict its patterns, so it's better to put yourself to the right, like that. You put yourself there, to the right of the octopus, so that you can anticipate its movements and not get hit by its projectiles. And same goes for the second floor. And then you go at the entrance. You noticed as I landed the last hit, I jumped there to the entrance, so that when the cutscene is ended, I instantly get kicked off the map. I'm transitioning instantly. I get the penguin, boom, and transition instantly. So now we have the penguin, which is a very useful animal, but we won't use it for now. But soon we will use it, don't worry. And we need to get out of the beach, so we go there. You break this block. You break this one. You can get a damage boost if you want here. I missed it. Whatever. Who cares? And there you go. You're out of the beach, so I can show you again. Just quickly. You do this. You go there. You can get a damage boost if you want. It can sometimes give you a bit of speed, but damage boosts are less efficient from the moment you have the cheetah. That's a fact. And so once you get out of the beach, you go back right to the right, and we go to the next level, which is Camellia Desert. We're not even halfway through the run, but we had to explain lots of mechanics that we won't have to explain any further. Yep, so let's go. So, I'm just going to save here. So, Camellia Desert, you go down, and diagonal, and right. That was bad, okay. You go down, diagonal, then right, slightly diagonal to avoid the quicksands. That's better. That's the way I do it usually. Once you get past the first blocks, this one, this wall, you get diagonal, then you go straight once you pass this, and boom, good to go. There, another interesting map. I'm just going to do a save here. You need to charge your sword and jump on this place where there aren't many holes. Jump there. And we need to do this. Slightly go down and do this. The problem is that there is a worm, as you could see. So if you take time setuping like that, for instance, I took time to me, I'm interrupted by the worm. So it's not as easy as it looks. It's not that hard, but you need to do it fast, otherwise you will get annoyed by this worm. So that's why I advise jumping quickly on this part here, then jump up. You put yourself against those blocks very quickly, and then you go slightly diagonal down, and boom. Actually I did it wrong, but okay. I don't know if that's visual enough when you're on the input viewer. But the idea is really to get against these walls and then slightly go diagonal down and release the sword. But you don't need to actually... If you release while being on the lower right corner, it goes through and it's not interesting. That's not what you want. So you need to go there and slightly down. And you're good to go. Oops. Okay, I was doing a half angle. Something... Can miss the stone if you stand on the lowest pixel. Yep, exactly. That's exactly what I didn't see you actually said it. But that's true. So there you go. So here, quicksands. So if I try to go up, as you can see, it mostly works, but it won't always work because quicksands are nasty. And when you build momentum, I'm pressing upright right now. And the quicksands don't want me to go upright. They want me to go down left. That's because the quicksands will always push you. On the long term, the quicksands will always push you on the opposite direction compared to the one you're pressing. So as we want to go up at the end, if we're doing this and then press up, sometimes you see it doesn't want. I actually had to release the up button to be allowed to go up again. Is the sword coming back at the right time or you need to call it back? Oh, actually you need to call it back, that's true. That's something I didn't explain. Sometimes you will have to actually press A again to make the sword come back. Just like that. I did press A here, otherwise it would have taken time or things like that. But if you place perfectly, it can hit the switch, I guess. And so quicksands are a mess. So you need to be on this little island here. So that's here. We need to get here to actually do this. But it's not that easy. So what you have to do is go right and go down to actually contradict the quicksands. And then it will enable us to go up way more easily. Just like this. Okay, it's nonsense. I saved at the wrong spot. Okay, there you go. Just like that. Quicksands are kind of weird. So what you need to do to actually get those is to jump on the tile right above the half. I know you can see the half of the quicksand. It's cut in half horizontally, and there is a upper half and a lower half, and you want to be on the tiles on the closest tiles to the middle, on the upper half, and just like that, you want to jump on the upper half, do down right, and then upright. But I did it wrong, but that's the idea. Down right, then upright. That's what you want. Yeah, I know everybody has a different setup on this. I'm just giving mine. It's not I'm not giving you an optimal solution for everything. I'm just giving you my own visual cues. So if you have different ones or better ones, that's super. I mean, feel free to share them. And the more the merrier, I'd say. And yep, we'll see at some point. If you can actually, if you have ideas of setups and other things which seems to be really better than mine, don't hesitate sharing them in the Discord, and I may update it with different strats or anything, or put links for this. Because my setups are maybe suboptimal and I don't even know it actually. So yep, you go there, then you hit this. It lags because that's normal. You're not forced to charge the sword here. It's a bit of a freestyle game sometimes. You take this bag, it's very important. And as you can see, the bag cannot be taken while you have invulnerability frames. Just like that. It will be obvious this way. If I take damage, I go in the bag. It's when I get I lose my invulnerability frames, that I can grab the bag again. So the idea here is to get hit as soon as possible here. Don't jump. Get hit as soon as possible by the spikes, so that you can grab the bag as soon as possible and then leave as soon as possible. Okay, now there is this puzzle. Very simple, you just need to learn this setup, which is the optimal one. You just have to learn it, there is no other way. And here, you don't want to be here, aligned with the block, you want to be slightly to the left, like that. So when you come back up, you go slightly to the left, and then it will nudge you here, and you just have to press A and can break the block instantly. It's more efficient. So, because I need to show you what happens if you press the block straight. Because when you get close to blocks like that, it prevents you from slashing. So here, you're kind of stuck, so you need to go up to stop actually holding the block, and then you go down and you're holding again, so it can sometimes be awkward to slash them. So there is a good way. It's a setup to make you nudge. You can jump as well, that's true. But jumping sometimes is also awkward because sometimes you're too high when you slash and it doesn't work. So being slightly to the left works perfectly, at least for me, not for you. Here you need to make another save not to do this all over again. I'm sorry. But at least it gives you the occasion to see it again and memorize it. So here you want to slash by anticipation. Just like that. You slash by anticipation so that when you land, it's already... because otherwise you will grab the block and it will interrupt the slash. So that's what you want. Same here. Same here. And then here, what we want is actually press down and release the sword at the same frame. And it's very awkward to do. So it's not easy to do, clearly. So that's why you can do a pause buffer, like for everything else in the game. So what you do is charge the sword, put yourself to the right, like this, U menu. And while going out of the menu, you will press down and A on top of start. Because if you don't press A, here's what happens. The sword isn't released, it just disappears, like you lost your charge. So you need to actually charge and press A down and start. And it works. Every time. So that's pretty cool. Oh my god, it's bad. Okay. Put yourself here, down A and start. And it works. Be careful that you press start once your sword is fully charged, because otherwise it won't release the sword. For instance, if I do this, the sword isn't fully charged, so if I do A down press, it wasn't charged, so it cannot be released. It doesn't work. And there you go. Then you go left, you break this block by slashing diagonally, a bit like I showed previously, and you're out. So that's done for Camellia Desert. So now we need to go to Roxie, which is an RNG boss, but it's not RNG anymore since we do an RNG Manip. So just to show you real quick how mean Roxie can be. So this boss is random, it has lots of patterns and there is only one that works to do damage. So a good thing to know is that there is a safe spot here. You cannot get hit by any of Roxie's attack here. So this is the pattern that allows hitting Roxie. And then you have to wait, and sometimes it can last minutes, seconds, minutes, hours maybe, on the worst occurrences. It's a very horrible boss. You can't do anything. So that's bullshit. And that's why we have a Manip. So the Manip is when you enter here, you equip the penguin because you didn't have it, then you save and you reset. So I don't have a reset button on this, so we'll do it manually. My longest Roxie fight was about 9 minutes. I'm not even surprised, actually. I'm not even surprised. So then you load. I'm putting a save here. So now you need to know what changes the RNG. So when you walk with the cheetah like this, there is a sound, and this sound has a random pitch at which it's played. So when I said the word random, it's for a reason. So the game needs to roll the RNG to know which sounds to play. So here you're screwing the RNG by doing this. So you need not to walk with the cheetah. You need, otherwise, aside from that, however, if you actually jump, there is no sound, so the RNG is kept intact. It doesn't change. But it's quite tough, so be careful with your movement. Prefer stopping a little bit before jumping, and it works very well. Yep, it's pitch, not peach. I know. Did I say peach? So there you go. You must not actually jump with the... You must not trigger a walking sound. So you go up that rope while jumping because you don't want to trigger that sound. And now we want to throw the sword here to trigger this first pattern, get hit. I'm a bit late to the party. I'm going to do a save. So you have to put yourself against the wall and release the sword and wait for it to come back. That's how it's set. And the first pattern from here is good. As you can see, it's a good pattern. So now we could do this and just slash and slash, but it's not the right pattern for the second one. So we need also to set up the second pattern. So what we do is go up while jumping, always jumping. You do 1 damage by charging the sword and 2 damage by slashing. Actually you do 2 damage, but 1 hit, 1 charged hit, and 2 slashes. And the next pattern is the right one. So you need to get hit. And that's good. And there is always this safe spot not to take damage if you need to, but you won't need it. And that's good. So I will do it again on one go so that you understand, now that I've explained each part independently. So you jump to the rope. You prepare yourself to charge the sword and throw it down, just like that, before the text box. Now we're good. We go up, we get hit. 1 charge hit, 2 slashes, 2 slash hits. Whoops, I missed. That's bad. So here there is a backup, I guess it's getting hit. on each attack, and I guess it comes back quite quick. Nope. It was getting hit on the second one, I guess. I'm bad at this game. Whatever. But that's the idea. So it showed something. You must not throw the sword too early, because otherwise it goes through the boss. So align yourself well with the boss, vertically speaking, and throw it once the animation has stopped, actually. Just like that. If I throw the sword too early, like I will show you on the second pattern, like, it was bad. It was a bad example. That was a bad example again. I will show you better, but the previous one was a good example of how it happened and surprised me. Here, it's too early. So you have to wait for the animation to complete. What did I do? It was already done. Just wait for the thing to actually collapse entirely, and it's good. Earth is fine for me, yeah, because I'm too fast. I remember pre-Manip days, that's true. We used to do this boss without a Manip, and that was completely awful. So there you go. Okay, so now that you've done this, we go back to Camellia Desert. And we go get the dino. Racing this game pre-Manip doesn't exist. Way too RNG based. We get the dinosaur and we leave right away. Not that hard, basic movement. So there you go. Now that we have the dinosaur, we can cross the ocean, which means we can go there. And we can also cross the lake here, which allows us to backtrack faster to this portion, but we will never use it, but know that it exists. So we go to Freesia. So in Freesia, you want to go down right, menu, and take the squirrel, go down, charge this, put yourself against this wall, break this block, and you're good to go. This is what you want. And you have the lion. Down right, you're aligned, you take the squirrel, you charge your sword, up right, up left, excuse me. Take the lion. And get out of here. You can go inside the castle. Here you want to remove the squirrel for many reasons. Because it's slow to throw the sword with the squirrel, because the camera follows the sword and not the player anymore. And here there are many things to cover. There are several ways to do it. I will show you the old route first, because it's easier somehow. So you go up, you throw your sword here, and you press start to reactivate your sword, because once your sword hits a wall, it's disabled. Is the new route more consistent or still fairly frame perfect? It's not frame perfect at all, the new route. Now it's easy as pie. But I want to show the old route because it's more easy to explain. I'm not even sure actually. No, I will only show you the new route because it will take more time and it will be stupid. So you want to get rid of these bears, or just put them so far away they will never come back. And you want to equip the lion. You could have put it instead of the removing the squirrel at first. Okay, you do cover it. That's good. I will show you how it works first. How it goes, and then I will explain how it works. Do this, and you're clipped. That's the gist of it. So you enter the castle, you put the lion instead of the squirrel, you break this block. That's called a dino jump. I didn't explain it already. That's why I'm doing this tutorial. You break this block. You break the first there, the second one. So here, if you do this, you notice, oh, the sword doesn't break the block when coming back. That's... No, it's because you use the dinosaur in your jump. You're jumping. So, to remove that, to actually reactivate your sword and make it actually trigger the small button after that, you hit and you press start. But there is a thing you must know in the game. You can't pause while you're airborne, as you can see. I'm pressing start. So here, what you want to do is do a low jump so that you are not airborne for too long. This is why I will show you. Oh. You put the lion, you break this block, you go up. You go up here. There are things to say about ice movements as well. Just like that. So for the movements in Freesia, as you can see, there is a big inertia when you move. So what you want to do is actually build some speed and jump. And it's very fast this way. If you jump too early, you won't have speed, so it's not good. You will be kind of slow. You know, it's fast, but not that fast. Whereas if you actually wait for a bit of speed to build, you're just being propelled at an insane speed. Oh my god, I just nudged against the wall. Here you do a low jump, you press start to reset the sword. You kill the bears, because they're annoying. Just to show. And so here, there is a lake. If you fall inside, you're drowned. So what you want is actually slide on the border of this block, a bit like in the level in the beach. You want to slide along this block and charge your sword by jumping repeatedly and releasing while you're jumping. And it will break the block, just like that. You can do it faster, of course, than what I showed. And that's good. That's good. You can throw left and go down quickly. That's true, actually. You can do this, but it's kind of awkward. And I'm not sure it's really that fast. But you can do this as well. Just, that's good, actually a good option, Xander. That's true. You can... Well, it's... You have to have your cues, but I guess once you have them, it's okay. So now that you have all the blocks removed, you need to actually reset your subpixels there by going against the wall, as usual. As you can see, there are 0 here, here, here. 0 subpixels Y. So you go on this tile, you buffer down, so you can see the character moving down. You jump and go left. And as you can see, we kept our subpixels. They're 192. They're the same as here. What? Like that. Here. I'm just placed wrong with the cam. That's why I'm feeling uncomfortable. So it's there. You have 192. So that's okay. If you place yourself wrong, just like that, for instance, I buffered down, but it's the same as doing a pause. If you go left, it's kept, but it won't be always be kept. Here, I don't know if you noticed, but I nudged against the wall. There's something weird that happened. And it happens sometimes. And if you walk, it almost always happens. Buffer down. What? Buffer down, please. There is a lag on Bizarre. I'm not used to. There was a nudge, so that's not good. When it nudges, it brings you up. That's not what we want. That's why you must place yourself on this tile. It most of the time works. You press down, and you jump and go left. It nudged, so it was not good. But most of the time it will work if you place yourself here. That's a bit of awkward. Sometimes it doesn't work. I've noticed that going slightly more to the right works better. To the right of the tile. So that's how you do it. Then once you're there, you go on the border, but not too much to the left, because if you go too much to the left, that happens. You don't want this to happen. So you want to go slightly to the right of this tile. buffer down, go left, go slightly to the border, you press start and you buffer, take the dinosaur, and you buffer a jump when going out. So you do B, left, and start. And now you're on the lake, and when you buffer a jump while equipping the dinosaur, it will make the dinosaur jump during a frame. So it enables the dinosaur to get inside lakes and stuff without having to slide inside. And that's a very good thing. That's something I discovered recently, and that changes everything, because here we are placed just the way we should, and we just have to press up, and we're clipped. So that's very easy, and from now on we just have to equip Penguin. I will just show where you go after that. And... whoops, I forgot, sorry. You go there, and you go up. And that's where we go. So just to show you again. You go there, you take the dinosaur, B left as a buffer, up, you're inside the wall, Penguin, and you go there. It's about 10 seconds of time save, I'd say. Because you need to kill the bears, you need to break 2 additional blocks and 1 additional block and stuff. So it kind of needs some kind of setup, but it's indeed faster than climbing all the way back with the dinosaur. So I'd like to actually show the whole level once. I broke my save, so I need to go back out to show it as a whole. Just put it in the same situation as when we got inside. Let's go. So you take the lion, once again. You break this block. You charge your sword and you move with the eyes, like that. You throw your sword. Sword reset here to break the block. You break the 2 wolves, the 2 bears. You can do it like that. You buffer down. Dinosaur, buffer B left. Up. You take the penguin and you're good. Let's go. So Diorama. Diorama is a weird boss. You need to alternate between fire and ice to kill it. And the thing is, you need to be standing on the doorway, on the entrance of the room, when you land the last blow, in order to perform a big skip, which is mandatory for any person. So this is not good. I use that to show you. I wasn't at the entrance of the room, so the usual cutscene procced, and I fall into a room where I'm warped onto another level, which is the root temple, which is there. And it's an all bosses route here. So we don't want to get there. It's for the all bosses category. We don't want to do this. So what we want is actually beat the boss. What? That was bad actually, I should have waited. And beat it while you're under the way, which is sometimes kind of hard. There are backups. You can use the squirrel, for instance, to make the sword go alongside walls, just like that. And it works. You can also plan it better, just like that. Actually, the boss is kind of no-brain when you do the first 4 hits, and it's the 2 final hits which need to be planned beforehand. Like for instance, here I'm going to do this. It was too short, yep. Nope, not good. That was not good at all. I should have used the squirrel there. This RNG is bad, and it's an RNG based boss. Sometimes you will have good patterns, sometimes you will have bad patterns. That's the way it is. And you need to change your animal not too early, otherwise it won't take damage when you swap. So that's perfect, for instance. You put the lion, and that's okay. And there you go. Salut Landran, ça va bien? En forme. And then you go out of the level just by going straight in a straight line. There you need to go left to prevent the bonk. And you go out. And we're good to go. That's the any percent route for Freesia. And so now, in casual, you would have gone the old boss's way. So root temple, you would have got a seed, and this seed you need to bring a Babel tower here, the Tower of Babel, and the elevator here would be broken, and you would have to go through these stairs right here, which is a long level where you have to solve riddles and stuff. But since we didn't do root temple, we don't have to do this. That's why any percent is way faster doing this. And we arrive right away where we fought Roxie. We can plant the seed and boom, there we go. The best part of the whole run incoming, that's true. There's a lot to say about Heaven. It's a level which is tough. In my opinion, it's the hardest split of the game. It's the most satisfying as well when you get really a good hang of it. So I'm gonna show you the first way, the way that was used before, until a few days ago. And then I will show you what I do now. But I think it's quite tough for beginners, so I prefer not to. So we are doing a Manip here, that's why we reset. And we are doing a movement here to place ourselves here and Manip the bee. And once it's there, we move right and up. And I don't think it's good, but that's okay. We equip dog and cheetah. Yep, that's not real good. And the bee is supposed to bring us all the way up. And there is another way to do this, which is this one. So I don't know if I will succeed doing it. You do a buffer right, actually. And yes, it's frame perfect. I need to find a frame. I'm not on my usual emulator on top of that, so there is a bit more of input lag on Bizarre. And there you go. You're clipped in there. That's a backup plan. And you can walk all the way right here and do this. So usually the bee, if I maniped it correctly, would have brought us here. And then you actually break this, manip this bee here, jump on it. I screwed it. Yes, I nailed it. Yeah, I'm dead. So that's the idea. So the actual fastest route is this. Is just going there and doing the frame perfect thing. If you're feeling like it, you can do it. It's just respawning here, buffer right, and trying to find the perfect frame. The frame right before the frame where you would fall. And you press left at that frame. You can see on the input viewer, which is dirty as fuck, but boom, and you're inside. And yes, you can get the bag. I see where you're coming from, Xander. You can get the bag from here. And you go there, and the idea is to use the second batch of bees. What the fuck is that RNG? To go up, 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 down, 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 down. Yes, here. Use much more time if you need to manipulate the bees. Yeah, definitely. The bees are way slower to manipulate, so it's definitely better. Frame perfect though. Yeah, but it's not that hard, I think. Maybe I'm crazy, but it didn't take that much time for me to get used to it. It's really a matter of timing. Once you get it, it's way... It's not a first time every try, of course, but You can get it quite easily because the choice is between a few frames. And when I say it, I jinx it. Wait, yeah, there you go. We can do that in Dahlia past cave clip in the early. Dahlia past cave clip in the early. I'm trying to see where you're talking about. You mean Mother Monster? I don't see where you're talking about. Okay, I see, okay. So we should jump that too. Do you think we can do this kind of things? Not sure. So here you have to manipulate the bees by going up and down and actually bring them there. It's a tough level. It's hard to explain actually. It's something that would require a full tutorial on it of its own. So I don't know how much I need to cover it for a beginner tutorial. Actually, I will show you the regular route, which we used to do before all of these manips, which will be more than enough for beginners. I'm gonna do it again because I had to press that button. I just forgot it because it's been so long since I last did this route. Whoops. You just go there. There you jump, you go straight. Show the Cheva's jump for swag. I don't know how to do it. I know where it is, but I never succeeded. I succeeded once, I guess. It's so hard. I don't know how to do this properly. You build speed, you go right, you go up that ladder. So this is the casual route, I would say, but it's not really casual, as you'll see. We're going to do a small skip. So there you can equip the dog with this route. Wait for the bees to come. Oh my god, I played so bad. Actually, that's not that bad. It's awful. Okay. It will never work. Okay, so you can kind of freeze the bees to join the platform. It's been so long I last tried that. I'm so bad at this. But the usual way, the easy way, is going there. That's the way you would go in casual. So we open this, and this is where the big skip happens, because you can't go up anymore. But you can do this jump, which is pretty tight, but once you get it, that's okay. Don't worry, you can make it. Whoop, this one is a bit tougher though. And there you go. There we are. So I'm not going any more in depth about that level. I showed you the two ways of doing it, and now I think you need to practice. If you have any questions, feel free to ask on the Discord. This is a tough level. You will have problems with it at first. Don't worry. Now you know the options that are available, so just take it. If you are missing health here, don't hesitate to take these apples there. It's good to get. So here I'm just going to change a few things on the layout. Move up this and move up this. Oof. So I replaced the subpixels with respawn coordinates here to show you something. So in the game, when you move, the game moves the respawn coordinates, which are the coordinates where you respawn when you fall like that. And it moves at the same time. But there are some tiles which are considered unsafe for respawn, such as tall grass. Like this. As you can see, the coordinates here are not updating when I'm walking. And even worse, if you have a sharp eye, you notice that the respawn Y is worth 1, which are the coordinates from the previous map. As you can see, it's 0 here, and it's still 0. But as soon as I walk on these tiles here, they change, they update. So you don't want to walk on these tiles here. You want to stay in the tall grass in this map. You stay in the tall grass, you grab the apples if you need to, that's no problem, and then you fall here. Boom. And then you're teleported to the coordinates, last coordinates known by the game as safe, which were from the previous map, which were very, very high and around the middle of the previous map. And as this map is shorter in terms of width and very high, well, you go very high and to the right. That's why it works. And we'll do another kind of things like that, which is called a respawn abuse later. But that's the way we do it. And there we need to get there in contact with this, but with the dog equipped to be teleported. That's a scripted event of the scenario. And there you go. So here what we want is we have 4 platforms, 4 plates, 4 pressure plates here to actually jump on all around the arena to invoke the boss. And it's quite tough to actually get all of them. What the fuck? I don't have much health right now. That sucks. Well. So you have to kind of find a visual cue. So usually I jump around here. I guess. Around the middle here. Around here. So when I arrive here, I jump and boom. What was that? Why did I press those buttons? I'm going to save between every platform. That's more than needed because I'm bad. But why am I pressing this? Okay, I know. That's because I'm lost. Just like that. Okay, I get it now. So it's a question of habits. You have to practice this to get the platforms right away. And there you equip Penguin and Lion. That's the fastest combination for this boss. And you just put yourself there. Okay, whoa, it's not that hard actually. You just press left too late all the time. Yep, it's a matter of habit, but it's not that hard actually. And you just hit him 4 times. Really that easy. You can release the sword while the boss is coming, just like that. I'm releasing now. You can see the sword, and it hits. You can also hit the boss while you're inside his head, like that, in terms of hitbox, in case you get a bad RNG and it gets up real quick. It's a really easy boss, there is no reason to spend a lot of time explaining it. And there we go, we're in a court and we can't break that actual switch there. We need to put back the cheetah and the squirrel. That's the things we need to equip. You need to put yourself not exactly against this dog, but slightly higher, so that the sword passes right above this wall. And you need to make it come back just the way we did in Iris. Or we'll need to do a sword reset at the right time. You can do many pause buffers if you're required. You hear the clinging sound every time it fails. No clinging, that's good. That's the way you do it. And we get out. And now we need to go to Iris. And I will have to save because I don't have enough health. I didn't refill in Heaven, which I should have done, but I messed up my saves. So Iris in the past is pretty much the same level as in the present, but we have the cheetah now, so it's faster movement overall. It means this thing is harder. Not that much, but a bit harder. You need to dodge the light here. It's a bit like the usual levels, but faster. So it makes them a bit harder to execute well, but not that much, so that's cool. There you go. You talk to the grandma once and to the little girl twice, and you're good to go. That's the only thing you have to do here. Then you go up. You talk to the flower, and it costs 50 coins. That's why we needed 50 coins. And you go there, and it triggers a warp to the real Iris past. So we're going into the past right now, and we're teleported here, so we just have to do right, left, because fast exit, just like that, right, left. And here we're going to do a dino jump, just the same way we did at Iris, and clip here. It can seem easy this way, but it's not that easy. So you just have to pause when you see your character on the slide, dino jump, and you need to. There is a tile here. You can go in the. You can feel the nudge in there. This enemy can be a pain. That's why this. Honestly, you can completely avoid this strategy. It's not that much of a time save. So if you feel like it's getting slow for you because you don't succeed, you can do the usual way. It's not that worse. You can do that. And it's pretty much as fast. But otherwise you can do this strat where you go inside the lake with the dino. Not too late actually. And you clip by nudging against the wall and trying to find the right way. You nudge, you press down, you nudge, you press down, you nudge, you press down, and it will work at some point. If you don't succeed getting inside the lake or there is a problem, you can get pushed inside the lake by getting hit by an enemy, just like that, and try again. First try, that's cool. And once you get it, you unequip the dino and just run, and you're there. That's why it's a bit faster. To get the Dilo, you just throw this platform, talk to the Dilo, and you get it. Woo. And there you can do a small rope jump to get out of bounds and save this time. Instead of climbing up and do that, you can actually just jump like that. The same way as we did in Iris at the beginning. There you run, you break this. You use C to stun lock enemies to prevent them from doing harm. There are apples there under this tree if you need life. And you will need health at some point in this split. Sometimes it's tough. And so there you want to equip the armadillo here and place it here like that and go down and press it along the way. You will find your own timing, and it sets up the Dilo by itself. Because you're here, just let me show you again. You have the Dilo blocked here. Once it goes up to the screen, nope. What am I doing? It's not once it goes up to the screen. It's when you're going down here. It's mostly when I go across here. When I come from the upper part and across here, I'm pressing C. And when I arrive here, I press C again. Because it's real quick. And it allows for a fast setup, just like that. Just to show you. Nope. You need that Dilo for that. You could actually do a frame perfect jump, but it's pretty hard. But if you do a frame perfect jump, you can cross it. You can also do a dino jump. It works the same way. You can equip the dino, buffer B, and let's go. This is actually the easy way to do it without the Dilo, but we need the Dilo for other things in the game. So we prefer to do it with the Dilo because we will need the Dilo right after. So whoop. You get the sandals and we're good to go. Yay, Iris passed, finished! So then you go left. When you're teleported, you arrive here. You go left, left, right. So the strat here is to take the Dilo. You actually woke up. I didn't explain I did something that I didn't explain. You go there, and you walk up to reinitialize your subpixels against this tree stump here. You go up, and you're good to go. You go left. You press C to drop the armadillo. You can take it, even if it's lower. Don't worry, you can just take it. You throw it, just like that. And then you need to move slightly up. You can do it while slashing, while not slashing, just like that. And then, if you go on the Dillo and you press down, you'll see the camera is moving. When you see that camera moving, it means that if you press the button and press C at the same time, it will clip you inside. Sometimes it will creep you right away without the camera moving thing, but that's good to know. That's a good example because this could have been actually not explained, so that's cool. And you need to be careful here not to clip again, just like that. So you need to really do square movement. So go up against the tree stump, take the Dillo, drop it straight in straight line, move slightly up, go onto the Dillo, camera moving, you press C, you're clipped, and let's go. And there you jump here. You can take this apple if you need. It gives life back if you need it. It's better not to take it, but sometimes you need health, and it's better to take this than dying. And we need to do those jumps. Just like that. It's not that hard. Can you unequip jump on Dino? Nope, you cannot, actually. You cannot. I don't think. Maybe, but I think you cannot. What would you do with that? I'm not sure. Oh, right, I see. Nope, doesn't work. See, that, just like that. You jump on this, you jump on this, you jump with the slide as much as possible, and you exit the map. And there you go. So you go down to go to Camellia Desert past. I don't know what hour is it, what time is it? Okay, already? Oh my god, I need to press on. But we explained most mechanics, so it will be fast from now on. So there we enter the temple. I can make a save. You go right. And there you need to actually... I'm going to make a save below so that it will be more understandable. Here. So there you need to press this button using the armadillo. This one. So you need to take, use it as a platform here, and go there. But there is a faster way to do this, which is to actually dance with the animals, just like that. I don't know if it's clear, but you're doing a turn with the D-pad here. Okay, I did it bad. But you do some kind of dance here to place the Dillo in front of you and take it right away without losing momentum, until you can throw it instantly and go there. That's a good strat. I like it, visually speaking. Even if it's discreet, it's pretty cool. And jump there. Boom. There we go. There you go. Here. And so here is a room where a big trick happens. There is a clip which is kind of hard at first, but once you get it, that's okay. So the idea is to get here, and you need to see the shadow on. I'm not sure you need to see it, but you see a shadow under the Dillo here. You place it. Yeah, no, it's not good. If you see the shadow, it's not good. That's what I expected. So you place it that way. So there wasn't no shadow under the armadillo, so it was good. You go down. You go against the wall here to reset your X subpixels. Okay, you don't see subpixels anymore because of respawn coordinates. Sorry for that. Bringing them back up. Boom. So you reset X subpixels, and you go down, and you go right. You can do right buffer using the menu, but it's harder, so I advise you doing it with the slash. So you press slash and right at the same time, and you will see your character turning but not moving, not actually shifting to the right. So yeah, you're going down, then you're slashing right, because otherwise if you press start, I'm going to show you what's happening when you press start. The armadillo removes itself. So what you can do is press start and press C, B, right, and start. And that's mostly working, but that's awful. So I advise just doing just the buffer. So you go against the wall, you do a slash buffer, and then you go up and you press left. There, you're good to go. You're in the wall. So you equip back the lion. And now that you have the lion, the thing is, we have Y subpixels that are somehow set to something. We don't know, because these are subpixels and it's very hard to set up. So what you want to do is just get into the void to get respawned back on the round coordinate, so that here you're sure not to clip out. Because otherwise, if you actually clip inside, if you're way too high, you will clip through, and if you're too low, then if you press up, you will clip out. And sometimes it's not even visible that you're too low, because here it's not very visible that I'm too low, but if I press up, I'm kicked out. So the usual thing, even if you're here, that's mostly okay. Even if you're like way lower, press this, boom, you get down, and you respawn at the correct place. And here is one of the hardest thing to do out of bounds in the game. So here, if you go slightly way too high, here's what happens. You get kicked out. So from here, it's already lost if you go here. So you need to visually go slightly eat the stairs. I don't know, with your shadow. Slightly walk over the stairs. Always prefer to walk over the stairs than too high, because too high is very actually bad. It's harder to see that you're too high, and once you're too high, that's lost. You need to do it all over again. So if you're too low, you will just go into the stairs and it will not work. You will have to go down and do it again. But the ideal is to be slightly being over the stairs. It's more lenient on the stairs side than on the upper side. So always be slightly lower than you would expect the thing to work on, and you will nudge back inside here. There you go. And so you skip most of the level by doing this, if not all. And here we have a boss fight, which is cool. It's the Chameleon boss fight. So here you have to land a maximum number of hits. So it's 3 hits during the first phase, and then it's all the rest during the second phase. That was bad, but it's not lost. 3 hits, and then it lands and it's dead. That's the way. It's 3 hits, then 4 hits. So when it appears, you throw the sword quickly, throw the sword the second time, before it lands, it flies, it jumps, because otherwise it's bad. 2 hits, that's good. A third hit. You won't have time for a fourth. No, it's no reason trying. There's no point in trying. Avoid his tongue. Touch him 3 times, and then 1 last hit. Good. And try to end at the top of the map, top part in the middle, because that's where the Moa appears, and it triggers the cutscene instantly. So it's the best part where you need to be. It's the best place where to be at the end. And going to do it one last time. So quickly, 2 hits, boom. There you go. It's not a hard boss. You just have to go fast at the beginning and then you're good to go. And even if you don't go fast at the beginning, you will have one more cycle, and that's no big deal. It's just a time loss. So here we got the MOA. I didn't even explain, but I equipped the MOA because it amplifies the effects of the other pet. So here the cheetah. So you go way faster with the cheetah when you have the MOA equipped along with it. So here we go really fast. Like really, really fast. And there we go. Boom. And you can bonk actually when you have the MOA. Just like that. If you go too fast inside walls, you can bonk. There you go. You talk to this man. And this is done. And now it's going to go very fast because the sessions will actually change very quickly. You go down. You go out, just like we usually do. You go in Burn Daisy past. It's gonna be real quick there. You get inside. You jump up. Jump there. Get the dodo. You need to practice those jumps if you want to go fast in this level. And there is some kind of snaking movement here. I'm gonna show you once again. You go inside. There we go. We take the dodo. We jump there. You can actually walk on there. It's not really a falling thing. And there you go. Here you take... No. What did I do? I'm sorry. I mistook. It's supposed to be there. More you equip. I'm gonna put back the pets as they were. We were with this. You menu in, and you replace the MOA with Dodo. And with the Dodo, we can grab the armor, actually the chest of the puppet. You equip Lion instead of Cheetah, and we hit the puppet. So this fight is kind of RNG, but not that much when you know it. It's going to break the puppet into pieces, and the puppet master is always going to grab the pieces in the same order. So it's always the chest, the head, then arms, I guess, then legs, and then it goes back on this carpet, and once it goes all over again. So we're going to do this over again. It's a very interesting fight because you have to analyze where the pieces fall on the ground, and then you have to actually throw your sword in rhythm to predict where the puppet master will be at a given time, and this way it will get hit or not by your sword. So you go here, you put the dodo here, you charge your sword. Let's go. You put the lion. You break the puppet. So here we don't see the chest and the head, so that's a very bad example, but that's good. It's not that good, but it's okay. Having him in 2 cycles is, let's say, good. 3 cycles is okay, but starting to be slow. And 1 cycle is possible, but very hard. So usually we don't have it. Oh my god, that's bad.
Oh.
That's terrible. Alright. I think we're good to go. If you panic, it trolls you. Well, that's a bit like That's a good motto for this boss. Don't panic, and it will work well. So here you equip Moa and Cheetah, and there is something we'll do. We'll set up a respawn abuse, so I will put the coordinates back up so that you can see them. So here, when you enter a map, respawn coordinates are usually updated, just like that. But the place where you spawn on the map is on unsafe tiles, it won't update the coordinates. So on the beach, when you get inside, coordinates are not updated because these tiles with the footprints on the sand, they're considered unsafe for some reason. You cannot respawn on them. So this allows us to actually set up a respawn abuse by going into Hot Daisy. So let's just get back. So we exit through there. Let's just place. So we are here. You exit, you goes up, you goes left. You just go there. Boom. You exit, and the respawn coordinates are set to a very high X value and quite low Y value. And so then you can go to the beach. I'm gonna save. And as long as you're on the sand here, it's okay. But as soon as you walk the stairs, it's broken. I don't know if you noticed, the respawn coordinates change when I walked on the stairs. I'm gonna do it again. So look at the respawn coordinates here. They don't move, and when I go on the stairs, they change. And then it's broken. So to keep it, we can use the dinosaur, which is a second element which prevents the respawn coordinates from being updated. So we take the dinosaur here, and as you can see, they didn't change. You put that Moa, boom, we fall, and boom, we respawn there. And so we can go up and right. So done faster, it looks like that. Faster. You put the dinosaur here, go up, put the Moa, you jump, you move while the camera is moving, and there you go. So then we need to talk to NPCs, 2 times to this monkey and then 1 to every inhabitant of the village. So I usually do him first, then this one. And then you can go fast here without talking to the bear in the middle. Then with a bit of luck you can clip inside the tent, but I didn't. So you walk on the carpet, talk to this elephant without drifting away like I just did. And you talk to the monkey. And we're good to go for Baron. A good boss. So here you break this block. And you can go alongside this, and you need to actually jump between those 4 stars. Oops, I saved, I'm sorry. I would have liked to show you again, but I saved. But yeah, you need to go down and jump where the 4 stars are. You can go back in the video if you need to check it precisely. There you charge the sword and you really sit after quite some time with Moa plus Lion, because it does area of effect damage. And this bot splits into many pieces, so this kind of AoE effect is very powerful against him. So Moa plus Lion. You wait for the ball to roll, and then you wait for quite some time, and then it becomes vulnerable, so you throw your sword and dealing some heavy damage. Oh my god. Okay. Let's go. It's Baron. Not that hard actually, you just need to practice it a bit, but not that hard. You put back the cheetah and then you talk to the 4 NPCs in there. Not the monkey in the middle. No need. And we're good. And then there are 2 levels that remain. Dahlia Valley Past and Black Knight. They're both quite fast levels. So This tutorial will soon come to an end. Finally! Hardest boss incoming. True. True. The hardest of all. Boom! So now we get outside of the beach. So here there is a nasty trigger here. You can get inside the house without noticing. You see, while moving, it's very easy to get caught in the house by going there. So I advise you to actually go left instead. When you're teleported back, you go do this. You go above the house. This way you have no problem. That house is a hard boss. And you can just go there. Here I jump repeatedly to avoid the holes. There are holes in the sand at some point, and it can make you lose time. So there we go. And we're going to do something you know very well. And I'm bad at it, because you know I don't know how to play this game very well. I'd like somebody to learn me. Can someone teach me? Because I'm not that good. There you go. Oh no, subpixels. Well, I tried to find an instance earlier of when subpixels were messing up, and this is one. And you go there. But the monster is easy. You just throw your sword here, throw your sword there. But this clip is horrible. It's the hardest one in the game. So you need to actually place yourself. You see that the block is split in 3 parts. You need to actually consider the leftmost third of the block, and you need to put your shadow almost half in there. And when I say almost, it's roughly. That's where it can work. Actually, there are other places where it can work. It was good there. And that's how you do it. Once you see you can go left, then up, that's good. You're good to go. So there I can go left but not up. And kick back down, that's not good. I'm terrible at this because I'm not in a run. Because in runs it works. Don't ask me why. I'm just going to go back from there. So you arrive here, you do this. Why can't I do it? What's happening? That is the idea. It's getting late, I guess. So once you actually clip, you get up and slightly diagonal, and there you go, right, and you need to actually slightly overlap to the right. That's the best way to do it, but not too much. Not more than half of the character must be over the wall. And you need to go up, 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 and then you will nudge at some point. Here, we nudged. So here we're good to go. We can just go press left once we nudged, we can just press left. And that's good. Don't press left here though, because if you do it before nudging, you will get clipped inside and it will screw everything. Just do it again a little bit. But if you press left here, you're blocked. Too much to the right here, I won't nudge, logically, at the end, or it's very tight. Yep, that was not good. So yeah, that was not good as well. Slightly, that's good. You're nudging, and then left. We're good to go. So once you're here, you go down here. Oh my god, I got caught in the goo. So you go here. Please. You go there. You break those blocks. And then you chain with the easiest clip in the game. You just have to press right here. And that's good. Then we do this. And we go up. I'm going to show you again, don't worry. And you go there. And there we go. So to do it faster, you just chain your jumps while charging your sword. You slash here, you charge. You go down, clip very fast, get hit by the spikes. Let's go. One last time. Come on. Little bonk. That's painful if you softlock there, indeed. There! Easiest boss in the game, you just have to equip this and this and kill it. It won't attack, it won't do anything, it's fast as hell. Very fast. Very easy. There we go. While it's dying, you can menu and equip back Moa plus Cheetah. And we take the horn. We don't even have to press A. I don't know why I pressed A, just have to go right. Good. There we go. You know something about the background story? Well, I know the background, I know the story of the game, but I don't know if there is some kind of thing I don't know about it. Maybe. So this split is pretty easy. It's a run in the town kind of thing. So first we go to the castle by going against this wall to the right, because there are bricks there that will otherwise be problematic. So the easiest way is going through the right. You go to the right and go straight line to the castle. Then you go right to the stairs here. Then you charge your sword to break the switch here. And we trigger this cutscene where we can see the monsters leaving. So we go back, we follow the monsters, we get out of the castle, and we go to the church. And you talk to those 4 monsters. Then you go right. You go talk to the king and then talk to the sign at the entrance of the town, and we can go to the final level of the game. Ah, bonk. You can talk to NPCs and interactable elements while holding a diagonal movement. That's a very good thing to know in the game. So this time I talk to it diagonally without caring about being aligned or anything. That can save you time at some points. And so here we go to Black Knight, the final level of the game, which is tough, to be honest. So here we equip the armadillo. We take it, we throw it here, you jump on it, you jump and call it and replace it at the same time, and you clip here. The armadillo enables doing some kind of clips like that, which are pretty silly, but they work. So you don't call it back yet, you call it back here, you put it at the crossing between the 4 ties here, right at the middle. You can see the cross, you put it at the middle, and you can just move around freely. And then you go slightly lower than you would expect, you can get through here. We will do this again. So, take the dildo, throw it here, don't hesitate to call it back. You can manipulate the dildo by calling it back a bit, just like that. Boom. There you go. Call it back. Okay, I've placed it wrong. Happens. Then you go there. So here, if you go slightly too high, you're blocked. So it's those kind of places where going slightly lower is always the best option. Exactly like in the Camellia Desert past temple with the stairs, where I explained you earlier that it was safer to go to the stairs than slightly lower than slightly higher. So it's the same thing. There you go. Slightly lower than visually you would go, and then boom, you can get past. So here we are. Here you want to actually jump. Once again, you want to be lower than you would visually expect, because these platforms are on an upper plane than the other ones. As you can see, you're blocked against them. There's some kind of wall when you jump against them. So you need to do some kind of perfect jump to get them, and so you jump slightly earlier than you would expect, and being lower also helps, in my opinion. I'm not sure it's true, but always helped for me. So you arrive here, you go here, and you do this, and you go back and forth, and you can jump like that. Boom, there you go. Then you take the armadillo here, you jump and throw it against the wall there, aligned with those blocks. Then you break these blocks, and it enables you clipping there. Then, same principle, you go lower than you would expect, because otherwise you won't be able to nudge. That was perfect, there was no nudge, I was placed perfectly. But it's not the usual case. And if you're slightly higher, you're screwed, so be always slightly lower. There you go. Then you break this, you put the dildo here. So here, if it doesn't clip, just bring it a bit closer, and if it's too close it won't work, if it's too far it won't work. So find the right spot and don't hesitate to jump, call it back and place it back, and so once it clips in one way, you clip on the other way to be sure. So down, left, then you go up to be safe, and then you swap the animal for the moa. And when you have the moa, you can go down, and then you can just rub against this wall here. It's safe, you can rub against it. That's the way to do it fast. So you can rub against this and slightly go down at this part. Like if you go straight line, you would do this, and that's not good. You can rub against this, but if you go straight, you will not be in the right place. So you can be slightly lower. Once again, it will rub in the right place. That's why you need to be safe here. Then you can rub, go slightly lower, and you're good to go. You can do several ways. So now for the final bosses, there is Smell. Smell is horrible. It works on the frame rule. It's bullshit. So you just break it as fast as possible, and sometimes you will have double hits because of a frame rule. That's stupid, but that's how it works. If you're low on health, you can always save after a boss and reload. It will bring back your health. It's faster than talking back to Mother Monster. Then the taste. So here it's Pac-Man. You actually need to do slight turns before the end, before the time you would hit a wall, to prevent bonks like that. So you do slight turns at the beginning, at the end. Right before the moment where you would hit the wall, you do a slight turn, and usually it prevents you from bonking. You can do it again. Whoops. Whoops. Don't hesitate to be slightly slower on this maze, because it will enable you to... It will prevent you from bonking. It's cool. It's usually a good idea to go slightly slower than slightly too fast. Then Touch, one of the hardest boss, if not the hardest, in terms of execution from the five senses. So you need to hit them kind of alternatively. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but you get the idea. You alternate between one and the other. The idea is to kill one slightly before the other one. Like, it would be perfect here. Whoop, nope. Nope, too slow. So I will have to go through the whole death animations. Whereas if you kill them in a closer time span, this happens. You will see. This boss is horrendous. I'm badly executed here. Sorry for that. No, I could have shown. I need to show you a real one. I'm sorry. Let's do it the proper way. I'm playing so bad. It's getting late, actually, I'm tired. Maybe I shouldn't have done it tonight. Sorry for that. No, come back. No, not good. Well, I won't show you, but the thing is, if you kill them close enough, it will escape. It will save you one death animation, and that's cool. For the sight, it's very easy. You just have to do back and forth with the sword as much as possible. If you time your sword well, it will be hit on the way forth and the way back. So that's cool. It's a very easy boss. And hearing is the second hardest, I'd say, to optimize. To do well. It was a bad hearing, but that's the idea. Whoops. I'm playing so bad tonight. My god. Let's do it again. What am I doing? Where am I throwing the sword? I don't know. This is an example of a pretty good hearing. You can do even better and kill it before the first sliding carpet is removed. And now the final boss, which is very easy. You just have to know the setup. So here you equip the squirrel instead of the lion. Here, boom. So you have dodo plus squirrel. It opens its eye. You remove the dodo, replace it by lion. You wait for it to get hit. It's hit. You put the penguin. It's hit. You put the lion. It's hit. You put the dodo back instead of the squirrel. And you're good to go. You just have to charge and finish it, and you can one cycle it. That's how you do it. I will do it again. So you take the squirrel there to open its eye. Then you remove the dodo. If your sword is too close, you can do pause buffers to slow it down. Because the sword loses all of its momentum when you pause. So it's usually a good idea when you want your sword to stay on an enemy to actually pause repeatedly until it gets hit. And there you kill it. And there you go. That's the end. Eee. Whoops, I lost the focus and clicked on something. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, my eyes are tired. I can feel it. That's okay. It was a good thing to do, actually. I need to cut a few things out. All of the problems with the controller and stuff. and it will make for a quite good video. I don't think it will be awesome, but it will be a good resource to start out. Thank you, Saldel. Merci, Saldel. Des bisous. C'était un plaisir de t'avoir, as usual. J'espère que tu as pu apprendre quelques tricks à droite à gauche. Et sinon, n'hésite pas à demander, hein, je t'expliquerai. And there we go. Time! Yay!